Well, hello everyone, hope you're doing well, and welcome back to my another video. And unfortunately, my last week's plan to go to the mountains to photograph some snowy landscapes didn't pan out because, well, all the snow sort of went away. So I canceled that plan. I guess I'm gonna have to just sit and wait until we'll get another load of snow again. So basically what I decided to do instead is to come basically to the same spot that I was a few weeks ago in this forest, this sort of gloomy, dark and gnarly, this forest with these gnarly trees. And the reason why I decided to come here is because the conditions I think are quite perfect for this sort of a gloomy forest photography. And it's overcast quite heavily. It's we got some fog, a little bit of mist, so I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to see if I can find any interesting images here with these great conditions. So yeah, it's all gray, it's all misty, miserable as always, but it's a perfect time to see if I can find any interesting images. I wish though that the fog was a little bit thicker. When I looked up the weather reports, it was showing that it's gonna be a mist and fog, and I thought, well, that's perfect, but it could be a little bit thicker because the forest is quite messy and chaotic, and that fog would definitely help with basically sort of blanketing the background of whatever the subject I can find, and that would help just basically isolating the subject from all this messy background. But oh well, I guess I'm gonna have to work with what I got here, and that's that. So yeah, let's look around and see if there is anything interesting here, shall we? Alright, so I've been walking around this forest, but so far I haven't found any interesting composition in terms of like trees and any like a forest themed image. But what I did find is this beautiful lake, which is sort of like all enveloped in this like very thick and heavy fog, and all the hills and trees, all the lake is blanketed by this fog. And you have this beautiful like a tiny islands with trees growing on them in the middle of the lake. So I thought that's well, that's perfect for some like a minimalist kind of abstract sort of probably black and white image. And I got my long lens 70-200, and I'll try to pick these like small vignettes in this like beautiful scene, and see if I can get like an interesting image. I think I got a couple of compositions in this spot. So here goes my first composition. So that's basically my composition. As you see, I got this like a tiny island in my frame on the right hand side. Basically, I sort of set it, and the fog is starting to lift up a little bit and reveal the hills in the background, so I gotta be quick. So yeah, I'm basically going for f5.6, and I'm at 135 mil zoomed in, and my ISO 100. And here you go, I'm focusing on that tiny island, and here goes. All right, and now for my third composition, I don't know if it's gonna work. It might be a good one, but there is this much bigger island right in front of me in the middle of the lake, and there is all this beautiful fog right behind it again. And so I switched my lenses because the 70-200, the zoom even at 70 mil was like it was too zoomed in. So I switched to my 24-70, and I'm about like 60 mil thereabouts, like 55 or so. And I positioned this island right bang in the middle of my frame. And yeah, it's quite a simple composition again. And to be honest, all the fog is doing all the job. All I need to do is just get my camera, set it up, and keep shooting. All the heavy lifting is done by the fog and this beautiful atmospheric conditions here. So there you go. So that's the composition that I was talking about. I have this big island with trees growing on it, bang in the middle of my frame. And again, I'm going for f5.6, and I underexposing it a bit just in case if any highlights might get blown out. Although the histogram is showing me that I'm right on point, so I should be good. But anyway, ISO 100, and here you go. Okay, I was kinda about to give up in terms of trying to find a forest themed image, but I think I finally succeeded. I actually was kinda going towards my car, and I found this beautiful tree. I mean, I wish the fog was a little bit thicker, but I mean, I think that'll do. The scene is there is this beautiful, like very thick and kind of gnarly with all these branches, this very prominent tree, and there is a little bit of fog just behind it, maybe just enough to sort of make the background not as messy and chaotic as it generally is. So maybe that's gonna work, and I'm probably gonna go for f2.8 to make sure that that background is kind of thrown out of focus even more, just to sort of compensate for the fact that the fog is not as thick as I wish it was. So yeah, so let me show you my composition. As you see, that's basically my composition. That's the tree, this prominent tree that's sort of right in the middle of all these like a lean forest trees and branches and whatnot. And you have this on my right hand side is sort of like a, I think it's like an old kind of crumbling stone wall that goes and sort of leads into the tree itself. So that's a perfect leading line for me. So basically I'm focusing on a tree trunk, and I'm going for f4, and I'm obviously going for a vertical composition here, and I decided to underexpose it by 2 stops because there is quite a bit of light washing over the scene, and I don't want that image to be overly overexposed and just kind of bright. I prefer it like more like a darker tones, like more moody scene here. So yeah, I'm going for f4 and ISO 100, and there you go. All right, I guess that's gonna be it for today, but it's not exactly the end for this location, because I'm sticking here for a little bit longer, because while I was driving here I saw a few other spots with some potential images, so I'm gonna go there right now, see if I can capture anything interesting. But all of that is going to be in the second part of this video, which is going to come out, I think it's gonna be after the Christmas. So yeah, you're gonna have to stick and a little bit be patient and wait it out. So yeah, and this part is coming out, well, right now for you, but that is right before the Christmas. So I would like to use this opportunity and wish you the Merry Christmas. I hope you're going to have a fantastic time with your family and friends, and going to have a great time, as I hope to do as well. So yeah, I guess that's that for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like the images, and if so, do consider subscribing, share, drop a comment, and I'll see you on the next one next week on part 2. Peace.